All right, everybody, got Coach Tim Corbin with us. You know the drill. If you have a question for Coach, use the raised hand function. Anybody got a question for Coach this morning? Coach, it doesn't look like anybody wants to talk to you. Michael, go ahead, Michael.
Hey, Coach, how are you?
Good, Michael.
Couple questions for you. Watching your pitching staff, it's been so impressive. How fun is it to see, Leiter and, Little, see all those guys, make big pitches? And especially, last night you guys had the huge explosion offense last night. How does that help you guys going into SEC play against LSU coming up?
Well, I mean, just to answer your first question, yeah, it's enjoyable to watch pitchers help us win more than anything. And I think when you get competitive kids that charge the ball towards the strike zone, it creates an energy defensively that is so important. I mean, I've always felt like, and I don't think I'm any different than anyone else, pitchers set the tone for the game. And if there's some sloppiness out there at the beginning, it tends to overflow into your team. Now you can overcome that, but I think when your pitching is crisp and it's attacking, it keeps the game moving. And certainly we are a team that really focuses on pace of play and likes to move from defense to offense as quickly as possible. So that certainly helps, but it is a lot of fun to watch those guys compete.
David. You're muted, David. Unmute yourself.
Sorry about that. Coach, you're getting a lot of power these past couple of weeks. Talk about that a little bit, and the play of Enrique Bradfield. His base stealing is pretty phenomenal.
Well, the power's been good. I couldn't really tell you that we were going to produce that. I didn't really know. I don't think you'd know until you start playing other people, because sometimes when you're facing your own pitching, it's sometimes it's tough to calibrate what you have and what you don't. But I think from a power standpoint, we've been able to lift the ball out several times. We don't want to concentrate on that too much because that can come and go, particularly when you're facing really good pitching. As far as Bradfield is concerned, he's done a nice job of getting on base. I mean, we like how he's performed since he's been in the leadoff spot. He's been in the leadoff spot. He's really found his way on base, and it never really slowed him down. It's almost like it bumped his confidence even more. So he's been a good little player for us thus far.
Chris, go ahead.
Good morning, Coach. With the luxury of having Kumar and Jack pitching for you and that combination of 1-2, do you ever catch yourself comparing these guys to past 1-2 combinations you've had? Carson Fulmer, Walker Buehler comes to mind. What is it like to have that luxury, and do you ever compare them to past pitchers?
No, not really. I think they're both so unique. We haven't had someone like Kumar. We haven't had anyone like Jack. They're cut out of a different cloth, but there's some likeness too, Chris, from standpoint of, there's a personality trait with Kumar that's similar to, David Price. He has fun. He's very vocal when he's not pitching. And Jack's just very flatline. He's got a good personality, but he's more internal than anything. And I'd say, not to compare the two, but Mikey Minor was that way a little bit. But I think their physical skill sets are, just unique and different, which makes what made Carson different, which made Walker different. They're really, I couldn't really compare them to anyone that way, and which is good. I like the fact that they're different.
Hey, Bob, good morning. You go ahead.
Good morning, Tim.
Good morning.
What did you see with that series with Tennessee this weekend? A lot of close games.
Yeah, two good teams. I mean, really close games, and tough to play Tennessee at Tennessee. And you come up short in 2 walk-off situations. Emotionally, those are tough on a team, but the rebound factor of a team is certainly dangerous too. And I think that what you understand as a coach in this league is you're not scarred by what's happened prior to meeting an opponent. The best team in the SEC is the next one you face, period. That's it. And especially one that's as motivated as this group right now, because they are, and they want to feel success. When they want to feel success and another team's in their way, it's very dangerous for that other team. And we're that other team right now. So hopefully we're good enough to compete and play good baseball.
Hey, Glenn, do you have one for us? Glenn, you're muted.
Yeah. Coach, did Jack Leiter try to lobby for some more innings when you took him out with the no-hitter? And I know he had 124 pitches before that game.
No, he did not, Glenn. He's very professional. He didn't know how many pitches he had thrown at that point, nor does he need to, but he was just pitching. He was just doing his job. And I thought, he's a pro. He's really schooled, and he's very mature. He knows how to handle everything. And this certainly is a team. That's why he's here. He wanted to be part of a team, and that piece is very important to him. So he understood that he just created a nice situation for those relief pitchers to try to do something that he was a part of.
Did you think about it at all to leave him in a little longer? Or?
I think the thought it's a passing thought. A passing thought went, both through Brownie, myself, but I think you get to the point where you understand where the game is. You feel like you've got a cushion enough, and you feel like you got enough confidence in other people to finish it. And you also understand that what happened the week before, there's a day less of rest, and what's coming up in front of them. It's just, you can choose those moments where you win the battle, but you could end up losing the war, and we don't want to do that.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you.
Chris, you got another?
Yes. With the big announcement on Monday that we're investing $300 million into athletics, the question was posed to Candace Lee about what if they're going to do anything for baseball. Have you had any specific conversations with the leadership about what they want to do or what you're looking for them to do? Could you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I have conversations with Candace a lot about futuristically about our program and about what we can do, and we keep those private. But she's on the same wavelength as myself, and yeah, I'm just very happy for Candace and this university that story came out, and because if any one person deserves that type of feeling and recognition, it's her. She's had a very tumultuous year, as a lot of people have, but particularly in her case, and I would say years, going back to when David Williams passed. It was, it became a very difficult couple of years for that child in terms of what she was doing, how she was doing it, working with Malcolm, no longer working for the university, she jumping in. There were so many times where she had to be the tweener, the in-betweener, the go-to person. So I'm just glad that she's able to celebrate something university-wide that is moving athletics, not only baseball, but the other programs here in a direction that we can all be proud of, because that's so needed. And the chancellor jumping in, the university endorsing it. I'm just happy for the university as a whole. It's very good news at a very tough time when a lot of universities aren't functioning that way. So we're very lucky to be part of this.
David, did you have another?
Yes.
Sorry, David, you muted yourself. You're muted.
Sorry about that, Coach. Talk about playing the box. and what kind of resistance that causes you guys. I mean, what kind of foe LSU is in the box, and Thomas Schultz's ability to stabilize Sunday, third day starting. How is he doing?
Thomas is doing fine. I mean, I thought that was a step in the right direction, certainly for him. I mean, I think everyone is trying to build their self-esteem as a player, and he certainly did that at Missouri on the road. And you pitch on the road, you pitch well on the road. That's a big deal now. And really, you just want to put your team in a position to win, and Thomas did that. So it's the next progression for him. It's just steps, really steps getting better is all that matters for him. He can't control when he pitches, how he, or at what point. He just needs to control his response to certain situations, and I thought he did a good job. As far as playing at Alex Box, it's always a challenge because of the atmosphere and what they create. But yet, I would say that the similarity of Alex Box fans and LSU fans is probably similar to that of St. Louis Cardinal fans. They're very traditional in nature. They're very knowing of the game, but yet they're very respectful towards the opponent. And Boston and New York and Philadelphia fans in general are very knowing of the game, but they don't give a rat's ass about the opponent. So I think LSU is more like St. Louis in the fact that they're traditional, respectful, and they make the environment fun to be a part of. There's been a lot of teams that go in there and, it can be daunting for a lot of teams, but I think the big thing is just being able to enjoy that atmosphere and understand it's one of the best atmospheres in college baseball.
Simon, I'm going to give you the last one. The Commodores got a plane to catch, so go ahead, Simon.
Coach, at the beginning of the year, you talked about, how this team is young and inexperienced. At this point in the season, would you say they've matured quicker than expected? And if so, why would that be the case?
It's not. They haven't. I mean, I think they're just progressing. I mean, we're just growing. We've got so much work to do. We're just a team that is trying to find its way. I think every time we go out there, we get more at bats for these kids who haven't gotten these SEC at bats. But this is going to be tough sledding moving forward. It always is. I mean, I think you find that whatever you've done in the past solely becomes the past, and what matters right now is how we arrive at Baton Rouge and how we get a little bit better tonight and how we can meet a challenge this weekend. And it's concerning. It's really concerning. So hopefully we'll be able to play well enough to meet that challenge.